actually joined by Action SA's national spokesperson, Lerato Ngobeni. Thank you so much for joining us on SABC News. So Action SA, you're here to play an observatory role. As far as we know, of course, you've issued that statement saying that you're pulling out, but you're here to observe. But will you be making inputs as Action SA?
Thank you so much, Natasha. Look, the inputs can come. We're not barred from speaking. We're observing what is happening, whether this thing is beneficial or not, whether civil society is truly involved, and whether this is not like an 80%, 90% ANC rally. This is how we felt this morning. But we're now in the breakaways, and we want to see what's going to be fruitful out of the breakaways. But if I have to say, the morning session was a bit troublesome from where we were sitting. It didn't look like things were off to a good start. There was a lot of chaos, and there wasn't proper preparation, so it seemed, and there was a little bit of chaos in the morning. So we wait and see. Right now we're in the plenary, so I'm in the plenary talking about fixing the state and how to make the constitution work. So it's important. It's an important conversation, given that we've just submitted our submissions for the constitutional review panel to consider whether there should be amendments to the constitution.
And then, I mean, as Action SA, Lerato, you are representing a certain constituency, those who actually voted for you and who put you, into that position of power. So what do you say to an Action SA member who's watching you from Alexandra ko 17th Avenue, that's where your constituency is, who says, but I voted for Action SA to take part of this process, and now Action SA is saying that no, they're going to observe. What do you say to that?
No, this is the thing. So we said when we went into Parliament that we were going to be constructive in how we engage with the state, and this is why we've said we cannot support something where already we know what the issues are. We've questioned the issue of, we've had a National Development Plan 2035. Where does this process leave that plan? I mean, we do have plans. We know the issues that are affecting the people of South Africa. We know we have high unemployment. We know we have gender-based violence. We know that we have housing crisis. We know we have an illegal immigration issue. All of these things, we know them. And so for me and for us, as we sit here, we wanted to see, okay, in terms of the plans we've already had, where are we in the timeline? What does this process need to emphasize in terms of, we are not winning in these areas, and so we should focus on fixing these particular areas, but we're winning in one other area. And so to the constituency who voted for me, well, I'm here. I'm here to represent them. I'm here to say whether this was a waste of their taxpayers' money, or perhaps we were wrong. This was a fruitful process. And that is why we haven't done the whole, 90-yard or 100% boycott. We're here to say we are doing the watch and brief. We're going to hear what has happened, and we'll be able to give constructive feedback. If we're not going to just, rubbish something for the sake of rubbishing it. If this process is going to be beneficial, we'll be able to communicate. If it is not, we will actually do the same. We'll communicate to say this was a monumental waste of time, monumental waste of taxpayers' money, and that your money has been siphoned for other dealings as opposed and disguised as a national dialogue. And so that's why we're here.
You mentioned the issue of the NDP, that some of these issues that are actually raised here are issues that you already know as leaders. They're in the National Development Plan, and the hope is that coming out of this national convention and ultimately leading up to the national dialogue, there will be a social compact going forward. How different are those two for people who don't know? But I mean, what do you say to people who say, listen, we are commission fatigued, we are dialogue fatigued, we are summit fatigued? Lerato, you're also in Parliament, you're also representing your constituency. Yes, you know the issues, you know issues of GBV, you know issues of the economy, what needs to be done, but yet people are looking to you, as well as Action SA, to say, but you are not doing anything. How will this national dialogue then yield results?
That's very interesting. We're only a 6-member caucus in Parliament. I know that we punch above our weight. But what is important, Natasha, is the fact that the people of South Africa need to be fully invested in what is happening in this country. We need to be outraged, but our outrage needs to be constructive. We need to hold our leaders accountable. We cannot, in a time like this now, talk about issues if we're not also going to talk about the leadership challenge. That is the real kicker here. We have a leadership challenge in this country where our leadership is not telling us what the vision is, where we're going, what are the marching orders. We need people who are responsible for the delivery of our services to do their job. It's as simple as that. We need not to pay 5 times for toilet paper in municipalities. We need not to leave Lilian Ngoyi still not fixed till today. We need not have the people of Johannesburg sitting there wondering when they're going to have their services for water. Those are the things that we need, and that requires leadership. And if you're not going to provide leadership, which is what we have seen now, it is a problem. And that's where we sit as Action SA, and that is why we have committed to say we're going to be constructive. When things work, we will say they work. Where they don't, we will say they don't work, and highlight what needs to be done for them to be so.
Thank you so much. Lerato Ngobeni there of Action SA, saying they are still playing their observatory role, just to see and to monitor what is actually happening here at the National Convention. Unathi, she mentions those problems that occurred early on before the president's speech, where there was a minor scuffle there on stage with a gentleman who was not, happy with the fact that there was not enough space in the main hall, in the main plenary. There was also the protest that we saw there outside from some disgruntled civil society organizations saying that they were not included in this process. Of course, by the hour, Unathi will be giving you various updates from various groupings, not only political parties, but civil society organizations and those who are in attendance here at the National Convention. With that said, it's back to you in studio.